My name is Caroline Kuzel, and I'm going to be singing If by Kristin Chenoweth. There he goes, as usual, my man, breaking my foolish heart. I really don't know what to do about him. I've told myself I've got to do without him. There he goes, as usual, my man, tearing my heart apart. He's made my life a mess. I've got to do this, I guess. Goodbye, Joe. From here I kiss you. Goodbye, Joe. I hope I don't miss you. If you had been on the square and had treated me fair and we had not had a tiff, if you had not said I should go and jump right off the nearest cliff, if you had stayed off the make and you'd never had taken to coming home stiff, if I had not smelled perfume with a nasty unfamiliar whiff, I'm gonna miss you, baby. Things could have been terrific. Oh, what's the diff? If you had not had the cheek to stay out for a week saying back in a jiff, if you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you have and you were and you went and you didn't, so goodbye. If I had not seen you take Geraldine on the lake in your flat bottom skiff, if you were not found with Sue with your arms around her bare midriff, if I had not seen you pen sexy letters to Gwen in your own hieroglyph, if you had not left me home when you had 2 seats for South Pacific, I'm gonna miss you, baby. You were too darn prolific. Oh, what's the diff? If you were not such a hound that when game was around always pick at the sniff, if you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you have and you were and you went and you did. And so goodbye. If, when I'd asked where you'd been, you had not clipped my chin with a beautiful biff. Hey, if I had not always found purple lipstick on your handkerchief. If you had not told me lies and then looked at my eyes with a smile Q-tip. If, when I caught you with Kate, you had not said it's of no significance. I'm gonna miss you, baby, and I could get specific. Oh, what's the diff? If the best years of my life weren't spent as your wife with no marriage certificate. If you were not such a two-timing guy. If you weren't. If you hadn't. If you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you hadn't, then we could have, but you didn't, though you should have. If you didn't, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you didn't, but you have, and you were, and you went, and you didn't, so goodbye. See you later, Joe. Thank you.